Hey, it's Mark. Let's jump right into some stock charts. I found this interesting stock that hit one of my momentum scans the other day. It's Black Sky Technology, and it's a small company. And the thing that was interesting was the industry it's in is a good industry, and they're on the looks like on the leading edge of some new technology, and it just seems like a really good industry, especially right now. It's Black Sky is a leading provider of geospatial intelligence. They deliver on-demand high-frequency imagery monitoring and analytics of the most critical strategic locations, assets, and events in the world. The company owns and operates one of the industry's leading low Earth orbit small satellite constellations, optimized to capture imagery cost effectively and when their customers need it. So they have this it's called Spectra AI software, and it just basically seems like military monitoring equipment. So they have contracts with the military. So they've been growing revenue really well. That's one of the things I liked about it was the it's a small company, and the good thing about those is they can grow really fast. So I looked at their revenue growth. They grew revenue almost 100% in 2022. Looks like the growth may have slowed down a little bit, but I didn't look at all the quarterlies. But if they can grow, even close to 100% a year, that's pretty good. That's what you like to see with a small company as far as revenue growth. And the fundamentals look pretty good. They weren't profitable, but they're still a pretty new company. It looks like. I think they did an IPO or they went public in 2019, but that's just based on what I've seen with the trading history. So I assume they might have done an IPO then. That's how it became out, why it started trading on the exchange. So the yeah, the fundamentals were pretty interesting. So and the technicals were actually well. The reason I found it was that it hit my momentum scan. It hit one of my long bias momentum scans because it's basically just come down off of a downtrend, and it looks like the momentum's picking up. So it looks like a really nice bull flag there. It's got a bull flag going this month, and there's good volume there on off the lows there. It found support. It found a lot of support at about dollar 10 a share. So it held that support, and then it looks like this is a really good setup here on this bull flag. So I like that. I like this stock a lot, technically and fundamentally. And you can see it's been in a range a long time, so that's actually kind of a good thing as far as it being able to hold that level. I believe that level was the lowest. Yeah, it hit a dollar a share back in May of what the year is that? Looks like yeah, back in 2022. Yeah, in 2022 it hit a dollar, and that was the lowest that it hit. So it's holding support levels, so they're buyers around a dollar. So that bodes well for this being new support, at least enough to get it to $2. So I'm not sure if it trades options. I think it does. I think I've looked at this one in the past. but the setup is definitely there if it breaks, if it convincingly breaks over this level there. So like tomorrow, if it's hitting, 130s, that's a pretty good long. But I've got a bunch of other stocks that a lot of other stocks have been kind of beaten down that I added to that I didn't talk about, but I just kind of alluded to them the other day. So I'll just run through some of my long-term ones. I saw that APLT has phase 3 results coming up. This APLT, um, it's still a good long setup, and it's looking healthy. They've got a phase 3. I'm not sure when, but it's like this year it looked like, and it's definitely looks like the uptrend's gonna hold. It's got to do something here because it's got levels that it's got to hold there, but that's a good one that I like still. And I'm just going through some of my longer term ones, the ones I like the fundamentals on. This MKFG is down a lot, and it's still got support's not till like 70 cents, but let's just see if it gets there. And AZ is more of a speculative one that I've traded, and it's got this long-term level there. It actually just happened to bounce off of it pretty well the other day because I had this line drawn back here, I guess, and so it hit that level and held. So I bought some more of this one just because it was down so much. I didn't even look at that level. I was buying some like the other week, like last week, and because it's just down so much and it's been pretty strong this year. Has some pretty strong moves. Some of the other ones, yeah, the STRC is a good one. This is another one where the fundamentals are just better than the stocks perform. Like the stock performance just hasn't been as good as the fundamentals say it is. So that's not really a good thing. You like to see the market react to the good results, but I mean, over the years, this company's been pretty good, and the valuation is just really cheap. It's one of my deep value stocks. It's like less than net tangible or less than current assets, less than net current assets. But I just have a hunch it's gonna catch a bounce, catch some support. And Kit's another one. It's like a robotics company. Like it's a ocean-based robotics company, and from my memory, it's military too, and it's at support levels too from excuse me, from May, about 170. It's getting there. It's getting there. But who knows what's going to happen? I mean, a lot of money's come out of small caps, so some of these may just be the catching the brunt of the exodus from smaller cap stocks. And I still like Soho. I think these hotels are pretty good compared to like a lot of rentals, and if you're a consumer, like the hotels look pretty good versus like Airbnb or something. And it actually took out that support level, like 160, but it's trading less than than their net current asset value or their liquidation value if you were to liquidate the company right now, basically, or just sell everything. But that's just kind of a rough estimate, because it's not going to be exact, but with the real estate market, but that's pretty cheap for a hotel, and especially for Hilton hotels. Like their brand is the Hilton ones, so it's kind of a just undervalued, but the price doesn't really match the value. It's just an undervalued stock. But I think it's kind of catching the brunt of the REITs too. Like it's like a REIT, so the REITs have been pretty messy. Uh, yeah, that's NA. I bought some more NA too. Because NA got some good technicals here. It found a lot of support from back in the summer, spring, and it's chucking along here, and it's got really good technicals, and I like the fundamentals too. It's really good growth company. So that's it for the ones that some of the ones I added to, and that I still like fundamentally. And these REITs, like I've got a basket of these office REITs they're really under pressure now, and like VNO, it just taken out some longer term trend support there. It all looks like a lot like housing stocks, and financials look pretty weak too. I mean, a lot of these reactions and these regional banks had some pretty bad reactions to earnings, and I tweeted out about some of them. Apparently, some of them have been like they haven't been hedging very well. Like they've been hedging, but they've just been pretty bad at it. Which I guess happens, but they can't afford to do that. If they've got a real estate, if they've got office real estate. Yeah, I mean, look at the reject like this Western Alliance rejected off of trend resistance right off our earnings too. So the earnings were right up when it hit the resistance, and then that's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad candle. So I put on some KRE puts, and I'm more confident with them this time. There've been some pretty bad earnings reports. Just the reaction to earnings hasn't been good. Like the KRE just made a new low for the past few months, and looks like there's a level there, but the downtrend is still really strong. Like it's back into this downtrend channel that it had going for the past 3 months. And even Ally, I just noticed this one broke down below a support level. And Ally is I think it may be the largest auto loan holders in America. They bought GMAC years ago, and I mean their name is the brokerage or the financial company, but Ally is like when you think of that, you think of like the the Trade King brokerage. They bought Trade King a long time ago, so they're like a stock brokerage, and I think they even have credit cards, but I think they're basically, it's basically just kind of almost like a bank, like an online bank, and they do mortgages now too. They really try to ramp up their mortgage their mortgages years ago. So they're kind of diversified, but they do have a really large bit of uh, auto loans that I don't think that book's going to do really well. But we'll see. Seems like there's been a little pinch on in the housing market, so that's not good for the consumer really. And yeah, I mean there's so many REITs that I could go through, but uh, like HPP, they all look really weak. HPP's weak. ABR, that looks like a bear flag. The Boston Properties, it's another bear flag. I think I talked about these in my last video too, so I won't go through all of them. But I just wanted to really talk about the BKSY, because that may be, especially if the markets do rebound somehow, which can always happen. You know, this one could really catch some buying. And I added the Roblox to my sort of like my long-term watch list, because the my my nephew likes the games, and it seems to be really trendy and really popular now. But I think, you know, like technically it held that level there. So it has some technicals here holding that support. It held support back there from December, but it's still range bound, so it's not, you know, great. But it's really if it can come back to support, that's a good. I think that's a good long term buy. I'm really tempted to buy it, like just for a long term play, because they seem to be one of the more stronger companies. But I haven't looked at the fundamentals though. But I just know that it's really popular. I think I might have looked at. I'm just gonna jog over the fundamentals one more time. So we've got, yeah, that revenue growth is incredibly good. They almost doubled revenue in 2020, which, you know, makes sense with COVID. And then, wow, they doubled revenue in 2021. And 2022 is slower, and so far this year looks slower. Hmm. Yeah, it looks like they're losing money though, but there may be a path. If they can get profitable, it's a good company. It could be a problem if they can never get profitable, of course. But you see a lot of times these big companies, they'll keep growing and growing, and then, you know, eventually the profitability comes around. You know, it happens all the time. Like Chewy, that online pet supplies company, they took them a while to get profitable too. But it looks like their earnings estimates are pretty unchanged. Yeah, I'd be surprised. I'm kind of surprised they don't make a profit yet, but sometimes that's the cost of growth. Like I was watching this videos like where Jeff Bezos was interviewed in 1999, and not that I'm saying that this compares to that, of course, but Amazon was not profitable in their early years, and I think the pretty much the mainstream consensus was that Amazon was a loser in in 1999. So yeah, there's just a lot of short setups out there still, and I'm still bearish on these on the technicals. Like the the Russell's just really weak still, and it looks like it's gonna hit these multi-year lows from 2022, and after that, 2020 is the technical level, the COVID low. So it's not really good. Like it's kind of might be reason for it to bounce here. It's just down so much, at least in the short-term bounce. But we'll see. But I'm just staying in whatever kind of puts and calls I see fit based on the weekly actions. But I did notice that a lot of these financial companies and REITs got really big, had a lot of selling pressure, and these regional banks were really weak too. It's pretty unusual sell volume in PacWest. So yeah, even the NYCB is another regional. It's downtrending. It's in a big downtrend. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. But I just wanted to share some of those stocks with you, and some of the stuff that really caught my eye. And even semis are weak too. Like that could be a level there that might hold, but we'll see. Like it could, if it breaks below that level, that's a pretty big technical breakdown. So there's a possibility for it to get really bad, and then of course it could bounce. But the downtrend here has been pretty strong since August. So let's call it a wrap, and I'll catch you later.